Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel, APWSPORTS signing in, and it is time for this week's power rankings. We're heading into week 7. We start to see a little bit of where teams are. We're starting to get towards the midway point of this season. Teams are kind of showing what they are right now, and it's time to give my grades for each team heading into week 7 of this season. But before I do that, make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it always helps this channel to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are one of the people that are not subscribed but enjoy content like this, make sure you click the sub button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But it's time to get into this rankings. Without further ado, let's dive into it. First up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. This is a team that is wildly inconsistent, in my opinion. Wildly inconsistent. They have good games, then they have bad games. And last week against Seattle, they didn't play very well. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone. Kyler Murray had his struggles. And now on top of that, they did lose Hollywood Brown for a significant amount of time. Despite getting Hopkins and traded for Robbie Anderson, his team is just wildly inconsistent. Next is the Atlanta Falcons. This team has been performing better than what I expected to. Their defense has been playing some solid football. Mariota hasn't been that bad of a quarterback. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been that bad. So I'm going to put the Falcons at a B, believe it or not. Next is the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to drop them down to a B. This team just cannot hold leads at all. That is the third time that this team has been come back on this year. And it just looks like something is up with this Ravens team. It really is, in my opinion. Next is the Buffalo Bills, who I still believe is the best team in football. They came back and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, got a little bit of revenge. And I just, like I said before, I've been a big believer in this Bills team, so I'm going to keep them at an S. Next is the Carolina Panthers. This team is in so much turmoil. I'm going to put them at a D. This team has just looked awful. They had higher expectations. Quarterback position can't get right. Offensively, they haven't been consistent at all. Defense has been holding them in some games, but they can only hold for so long when their offense just cannot score points on a consistent basis. Next is my Chicago Bears. I got to put them in a D. I have to put the Bears in the D. It just looks bad. The offense just looks bad. Offensive line can't protect. Running game has been so-so the past couple of weeks. I don't even want to talk about this Bears team for too long. Next is the Cincinnati Bengals, coming off of a big needed win against the New Orleans Saints. We're going to put them at a B. They're starting to get the ball rolling a little bit offensively. Jamar Chase is getting involved. Joe Burrow is starting to look like the quarterback we expected him to. The offensive line has still been a little bit so-so. And defensively, they have been creating some turnovers and creating some havoc. So I'm going to put the Bengals at a B. Next is the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to put them in a C. Offensively, they cannot be consistent either. We know Jacoby Brissett is just a bridge, but he has been up and down. Defensively, they've been up and down. So I'm going to put the Browns at a C for the moment. Next is the Dallas Cowboys. Despite the loss to the Eagles, I'm going to put them still at an A. It might be crazy for me to say. I still believe in this team. They're probably going to get Dak back. Cooper Rush was a placeholder, but he didn't look bad. Second half, they started to make some adjustments. They started to come back a little bit, but I believe it's a little bit too late. They started off a little bit slow against Philly, and it started to cost them. This defense has been crazy good. Offensively, I believe once they get Dak back, they'll start to get a little bit of their rhythm going. So I'm going to believe the Dallas Cowboys in the A. The Denver Broncos, I hate to do it, but I'm putting them in a D. I hate to do it, but I'm putting them in a D. Offensively, it just cannot be consistent at all. That first quarter and a half against the Chargers, this team really looked like they were going to establish rhythm. They're going to establish something. And in the second half, they did nothing. Offensively, they did nothing. The defense has been keeping them in games, but this offense has been very underperforming and underwhelming. They should be a lot better than what they are right now. And I'm going to put them in a D. This just hasn't looked very good. The Lions going to have it a C. I put them above some teams because expectations weren't that great. Defensively, they looked bad all year, but offensively, they scored some points even though their last game was a shutout. But I still believe this Lions team is very much improved. Dan Campbell, I love what he has been doing with this Lions team, so I'm going to put him in a C. Next is the Green Bay Packers. I'm dropping them to a B. I ain't dropping this Green Bay Packers team to a B. They look bad. Offensively, they did not look good at all. against the New York Jets. Defensively, it didn't look good either, and special teams cost them once again. They cost them once again. They cost them in the playoffs, and they cost them against the Jets again. So I'm going to put this team at a C. Next, we have the Houston Texans. I'm going to put, this is a tough team, but I'm also going to drop them to a D. They haven't been really great, but they haven't been as bad as I thought they would. They had some moments, but this team is just not there. They don't have much talent, so I'm going to put them at a D. Next is the Indianapolis Colts. They're starting to get things rolling a little bit. I'm going to move the Indianapolis Colts up to a C. Even though offensively, the offensive line looks god awful. They found a way to beat the Jaguars, and I will give the Colts credit to find a way to come back and win that game. And speaking of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to put them in a C as well. The Jaguars have a bright future, and now they're playing some really good football. The record might not show it, but they are playing some really good football for some of the youth. And some of the money that they spent this offseason and some of the pickups that they have are really starting to pay off. So I'm really liking where this Jaguars team is headed. I'm going to put them in a C. Next is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I'm going to put them in an S. I still think they're one of the better teams in football. Defensively, they have their moments, but that's my hang up with this team is defensively. Offensively, they may miss Tyreek Hill, but they are still one of the better offenses that we have in football. Patrick Mahomes is still that guy. You know, he threw that pick late. The Chiefs, I'm still going to put them in an S. Next is the Chargers. We're going to move them up to an A. This team has a lot of injuries, but they have been finding ways to win football games. They found a way to win last night. Even with the kicker with a bad groin, they still find a way to pull out that game in overtime. Justin Herbert, you can tell the rib is starting to bother him a little bit. You can tell that maybe he's not all the way there, but he's still playing some good football. Defensively, they're still playing some good football, so I'm going to put the Chargers at an A. Next is the Rams. Now, this team has been up and down all year. I'm going to put them in average right now. This team has been up and down. Matthew Stafford is still turning the football over. Cooper Kupp is still basically the only weapon. And defensively, I just think outside of Aaron Donald, the pass rush hasn't really been there as it usually would be. Jalen Ramsey, of course, secondary is solid. It's just up front. They haven't been creating and generating the pressure that we expected them to. And offensively, they've just been turning the football over. So I'm going to put the Rams at a B. Next, the Raiders have a bye week. I'm going to put them in a D. This team should be better than what they are. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams has clicked, but defensively it's been their woes. They've been letting up leads. I just think they should be better than what they are, and they have not been playing like it all season, even though they had a bye week last week. Next is the Miami Dolphins. Their quarterback situation is crazy with Tua getting hurt, Teddy Bridgewater getting hurt, and even a third stringer getting hurt. This team has been competitive. You can tell the quarterback position is something that they need back. They need Tua back bad. Defensively, they had struggled the last couple of weeks, but I believe that's more on the offense, not really generating much. So I'm going to put the Dolphins at a B. Next is the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put the Vikings at an S. This might be kind of crazy. I still believe this Vikings team offensively is very, very good. They struggled in the first half a little bit, but they started to get things rolling in the second half against Miami. Defensively, they've been creating some turnovers and creating some havoc. This defense has been better than what I thought they would be. The little guys are a little bit older, but they have still been playing some solid football. They're the second best team in the NFC, and I'm going to put them in an S. Next is the New England Patriots. They've been pretty much average. Bailey Zappi has been playing solidly for a third-string quarterback. He has been playing some solid football. Defensively, they've looked very good the last 2 weeks. Bill Belichick is starting to get this defense going a little bit. Offensively, they're running the football. Ramondre Stevenson has been very solid in the backfield. So I'm going to put the Patriots at a B. Next is the New Orleans Saints. I'm also going to put the Saints at a B. Offensively, they're starting to get some things going. They got some guys hurt. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave. They got some guys hurt. Alvin Kamara's been coming back and making an impact defensively. They've been doing some things. I just think once they get Jameis and once they get some of their weapons back, they will start to get better. Next is the New York Giants. I'm putting this Giants team in an A. I cannot put them at an S because I just still, it's something with Daniel Jones. It's just something there that I really, truly don't believe in. It's just something with Daniel Jones is just not there. They're finding ways to win football games. Saquon Barkley has been out of this world this year. And defensively, they have been solid. But it's just something with Daniel Jones is just not there. And I cannot put this team at an S just yet. I needed to see a really, really, really productive game out of Daniel Jones. Next is the New York Jets. I'm going to put the Jets at a B. I did make a video about them being one of the more improved teams in football. This defense played lights out against Green Bay. Offensively, Zach Wilson has come back and led them to wins. He hasn't been playing out of this world, but he hasn't been making mistakes either. Breece Hall in the running game has been explosive. So this Jets team, I predicted them to be most improved. And they are showing that they are a very much improved football team under Robert Saleh. Next is the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to put them at an S, the only undefeated team left in football. They did slip a little bit in the second half against the Dallas Cowboys, but in that first half, it looked like they were just going to run away with this football game. Give credit to the Cowboys, but the defense of the Eagles is still there. Darius Slay has been playing out of this world. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox has been making some plays. And offensively, Jalen Hurts is still explosive. Miles Sanders in the running game well as well. A.J. Brown has been a huge addition with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. I think they're one of the more complete teams in football. It's between them and the Bills as being a more complete team. Next is the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off an upset win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to put them at a C. We still don't know what Kenny Pickett is going to look like. He got out of game last week with a concussion. Mitch Trubisky came back and led this team to a win. Defensively, they were able to slow down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. It's just offensively, they haven't been able to establish only but so much rhythm, and they really miss TJ Watt. Next is the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to put this team at a C as well. It just, offensively, they have moments. Defensively, they looked good against the struggling Arizona Cardinals team. It's just Geno Smith is turning into good Geno, bad Geno. Last week against Arizona, it was solid Geno. He plays solid football. The running game of Kenneth Walker has been really good. Defensively, they've been up and down, but they made some plays against Arizona. It's just a football team that we don't know what to make of them right now. They've just been so inconsistent. Next is the San Francisco 49ers coming off of a big loss to the Falcons. I'm going to drop this team to a C. Jimmy G has kind of struggled. Defensively, we expect them to look better, but even though Nick Bosa was out, I'm going to put the 49ers at a C at this point right now. I think defensively they should have played better. They didn't. Offensively, the running game hasn't been as explosive as we wanted it to be. And their passing game has been so-so. So I'm going to put them at a C. Next is the Buccaneers. I'm going to drop the Bucs to a B. Offensively, they just cannot establish any bit of rhythm at all. I mean, this team offensively, they have the pieces. Is this something with Tom Brady that just doesn't look the same? Is it you guys or is it just me? Something about this Buccaneers offense doesn't look the same. Defensively, something ain't there. It's just, at the beginning of the year, this Bucs defense was playing well. It hasn't looked the same. Next is the Tennessee Titans. They're a bit of average football team. I'm going to put them in a B. Derrick Henry is getting going. When Derrick Henry is not going, his team isn't good. Defensively, they've been kind of so-so all year. They've been pretty much an average football team with Tannehill at the quarterback position. And at some point, I think Tannehill's probably going to get benched. That's just my opinion. Next and final is the Washington Commanders. I'm putting them at a C. They didn't look good against the Bears. Let's just be honest. The Bears lost the game. Washington didn't do anything spectacular. Offensively, they really didn't get much going in the passing game. The running game got it going a little bit. Defensively, they were getting after the quarterback, but we all know the Bears' offensive line is bad. Montez Sweat did create some havoc. They did get some interceptions. They did get some really big stops, but offensively, they just cannot complete anything. And with Carson Wentz being hurt, who knows where this team is going to go. But those are my rankings for this week. I know you guys are going to agree and disagree with me, and that's just fine. So leave this video a like, as it always helps the channel to grow. Comment your guys' thoughts. Like I said, can I agree or disagree? I just want to know what you guys think of what you think of these rankings. And also click the sub button and notification bell so you not miss any of the videos. But I'm APW Sports Channel now. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.